Have you ever wondered if the digital gold that once promised untold riches is now oscillating on the edge of collapse? I am sure that every person in their entire lifespan must have heard the term Bitcoin. And when it comes to the financial markets, there can be few tales that have captured the imagination like Bitcoin. It was once the new money and the key to a financially free life, and millions of Satoshi, or the smallest fraction of Bitcoin, would guarantee a rich life with out-of-this-world earnings. But now, it is possible to notice a sort of overlapping in job offers, meaning that the institution no longer occupies the chosen niche perfectly and exclusively. The original admirers of this cryptocurrency are now beginning to wonder if they have invested in a time bomb that is likely to go off soon. Now that we have established that the current sentiment has made a complete U-turn, where does this change in sentiment come from? Can Bitcoin be experiencing the beginning of the end shortly? Unpacking the real reason investors are backing away from Bitcoin is scarier than you think, and it is threatening the very existence of cryptocurrency. Everybody must have heard Bitcoin's extraordinary success story, which was the most outstanding one in the new digital economy era. It was launched in 2009 by an unknown person, using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. It was designed as an innovative form of currency that can be utilized beyond conventional banking institutions. Initially, the demand was rather a niche, associated with technology enthusiasts and libertarians who were interested in having independent means of payment. But wait, the real advancement was clearly seen in the year 2017, when the value of the bitcoins reached nearing $20,000. This rapid enrichment caught everyone's attention, and wines and diners started flooding this country. For many, it was the future of money unshackled from the fiat authorities of the government and the banking system, as well as offering ultimate financial liberation, and its underlying technology was the much-discussed blockchain, since it would enable improved transparency as well as security. The mere passion of the digital currency made many traditional and current investors rush towards bitcoins, ranging from experienced investors, including hedge funds, and users who were careful started circling to make some green out of the new digital shift. Bitcoin was presented as an object with financial potential of high investment return, but it was also presented as an object that had the possibility to change the financial world. So, as we all know, if some things have numerous advantages, then it also accompanied by some negative outcomes. What do you guys think made Bitcoin attractive? Obviously the high volatility and the nature it holds, which act as a pure gambling one, gradually becoming a problem. The breakpoint arrived during the time when the cryptocurrency reached out to the audience. The credentials of its stability started to break. I have a simple question for you people. Was the initial excitement around Bitcoin emerged as a double-edged sword, which ultimately sets the stage for both immense opportunities and significant risks? What was the most significant feature of the Bitcoin is its price fluctuation, which causes the roller coaster of volatility. As its prices are unpredictable, it is also volatile. The fluctuations in the cryptocurrency price have always been dramatic, which then affected by the sentiment of the market, their regulations, as well as other macroeconomic factors. This volatility can be very exciting when the trend in the stock market is on the upward trend, and comes out to be extremely unfavorable when the trend is downwards. This only became possible in the year 2018, which can be seen as a turning point. After Bitcoin had its greatest run in the year 2017, the cryptocurrency faced major slumps. This crash, through which the price of a single Bitcoin fell below $120, proved that this kind of investment is highly risky. Most of them saw their big profits vanish and therefore had to reassess their operations on the market. As Bitcoin started moving upward, that upward movement, it was not very smooth, and the value of Bitcoin again started fluctuating sharply. These fluctuations rose and fell regularly, and it became the new world market business sentiment. Those who invested with an aim for getting fast profits were now facing the opposite, in that they were experiencing many and often large unpredictable losses. The problem with volatility is only aggravated by that fact that external stimuli can greatly affect Bitcoin in question. Fluctuations in the market, global conflict, alteration in government policies may result in extreme price fluctuations. This state of affairs was discussed to mean that it is impossible for Bitcoin to ever achieve the kind of stability that will make it a usable means of value storage or an investment. Does Bitcoin's persistent volatility undermine its potential as a stable investment, or is it an inherent feature of its growth process? As Bitcoin gained popularity, it automatically attracted the attention of regulatory authorities worldwide. In the beginning it was celebrated for its decentralized nature, but as time passes Bitcoin faces increased scans from governments concerned about its potential implications for financial stability and security. Countries like China, which once embraced the technology, have imposed strict measures against cryptocurrency trading and mining. These regulations have not only affected Bitcoin's price but have also contributed to a sense of instability within the market. The Chinese crackdown, combined with restrictions in other regions, has raised concerns about the global regulatory landscape for cryptocurrencies. In the United States, regulatory bodies have begun targeting various aspects of the cryptocurrency market, including exchanges and initial coin offerings, ICOs. The uncertainty surrounding potential future regulations has created a climate of fear among investors. Will new rules stifle innovation, or will they provide a framework that supports sustainable growth? The regulatory environment remains a significant challenge for Bitcoin. As governments battle with about how to address cryptocurrencies, the potential for restrictive measures looms large. This uncertainty adds another layer of risk for investors, contributing to the overall erosion of confidence in Bitcoin. The major concern was how do regulatory crackdowns and potential future regulations influence the audience perception of Bitcoin's investment viability. Since it is relatively a well-known type of electronic money that would not take them long before they attracted the attention of the global governing bodies. Initially, Bitcoin is something good and convenient, it is not controlled or supervised by a specific government, but the disorderly action is considered by many governments as an act of hostility against the fiscal systems. Here some of the innovators of the blockchain technology such as China has prohibited the utilize and distribution of the cryptocurrencies as well as the mining of the same. It has also defined where Bitcoin should be priced, or demanded, in addition to introducing such constructs as market instability. With his and other restrictions that have occurred particularly in other fields led people to infer that the cryptocurrencies are likely to be regulated in the entire world especially by the authorities such as those of China. Although the provision of this law may still differ from state to state and the details of this law will depend on a particular state in which a particular company will operate, it is rather important to note that starting from 2018, the regulators of the United States started to interact with different subsectors of the markets of cryptocurrencies including exchange platforms and initial coin offerings. Also the investors who have formed this impression have been exposed to high levels of fear relating to investment with the help of the firms when it comes to the future that is attached to the regulations. What do you guys think? Can the establishing of new rules be potentially dangerous for the process of innovation or, conversely, do the rules represented in the paper provide prerequisites for the harmonious development of the market? It is the same for the present days, conditions remain rather unfavorable. Concerning the threats to Bitcoin, regulation and publicity are still likely to threaten it in the future. Hence, when governments are unable to come up with a proper reaction, they are likely to resort to the restrictions concerning cryptocurrencies. Which then increases the possibility for investors, that also alters the feeling that investors have while investing in Bitcoin and the trust investors have in utilizing it. The query regarding the security come with to what extent do security breaches and scams affect willingness to invest in or hold Bitcoin? After Bitcoin gained more recognition, it became vulnerable to competition from other blockchain-based currencies and technologies. The existence of alternative coins sought after as a result of market saturation enriches the set of available solutions. It is impotent to note that the Bitcoin is no longer the only player in this field, even though it is still the most recognized one. As said, some newer kinds of cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum are built with different characteristics from Bitcoin, they too provide different attributes such as smart contracts and applications. Also, there are much better versions of blockchain technology as the technology evolved over the years concerning scalability. This raises questions on whether Bitcoin enjoys the monopoly that it used to have before the new entrants. The competition in the market can be named as the major threat to Bitcoin as there are numerous similar digital currencies available today. Employees are now looking for other alternatives that may provide higher return or new technologies. Bitcoin's success story is being threatened by the increasing competition from other players in the market today. What becomes the hurdle for Bitcoin was technological advancement. It has been an issue which led to the various doubts towards Bitcoin since there are more competitive technologies today than before. Newcomers' coins' possibilities are compared to Bitcoin with its proven track record. But the finding is that is Bitcoin's dominance in the cryptocurrency market being undermined by newer technologies, or does it still have a significant edge over its competitors? Now, relations with Bitcoin and its further occurrence are concerning the sphere of economics and technologies. Moving to the next point, thus, it means that negative investor sentiment mean less people will want Bitcoin, but to note that, inflation rates and interest rates are some of determinants of investor sentiments. In general, in the economic crisis perspective, such currencies are considered the means that is to guard the participants from the classical fiat money systems, yet, when it comes to the role of Bitcoin in maintaining this sphere, it is quite disputable. Regarding the technology, the main or mostly raised point of criticism with regards to Bitcoin is the slowness and the rate of transactions it holds. This means that managing care turns into one of the most important problems. When there are numerous networks, there are also numerous transactions. Shortcomings of the given framework can be described as some inaccuracies of the Bitcoin activity, including the following factors: quite high fees and rather long time that is needed for the fulfillment of transactions in the moments of its rather intensive demand. As one can observe, these economic and technological issues are very complicated for Bitcoin to on time. Regarding these problems, they make them quite well known to investors, and they consent to discuss the measures of Bitcoin to tackle it. How do economic and technological challenges impact your view of Bitcoin's long-term potential as an investment? How does media coverage and market sentiment impact your own views on Bitcoin's investment potential? Here we will see, the market sentiments and media coverage can be considered the main drivers for changing perceptions of Bitcoin in investors. When there is good news or their endorsement, then people will be interested and willingness to invest will be high, but when there is a bad news or negative recommendations, there will be high level of fear, thus low investment implication. Recent coverage by the media can show how Bitcoin has been effective and yet not as successful at the same time. Some reports are optimistic and are likely to highlight on the aspect of achievement and opportunities for development, while others are negative, likely to talk about the issue of volatility, the problem with regulation and security. These combined signals usually creates confusion and an ambushed feeling which becomes disadvantageous, especially when making investment decisions. Of all the factors affecting a society, the role of media and market-related sentiments cannot be undermined. This is because, like any other investors, people form an opinion about Bitcoin, and this can be influenced by news and/or opinions. It is crucial to analyze the current trend of dwindling belief by predicting how the media and sentiments influence the perceptions currently. At the same time, there are certain signs of the improving outlook for Bitcoin. Despite the fact that the investors' confidence is dwindling and new challenges appear, the picture is not quite so dismal. Again, it would seem that cryptocurrency continues and interacts with all the hostile factors. Further solutions within the very realm of blockchains might grow in form and functionality to an extent that would offset most of the challenges being experienced in the Bitcoin realm. The ongoing work for growing the capability, sturdiness, and legal characteristics of Bitcoin for development goes on. Regarding this, innovations and applications are under the process of creation. So first of all, in order to enhance other characteristics of Bitcoin, and, secondly, to overcome the limitation factors of the particular kind of currency. They are more of funding for Bitcoin in the long run as institutional investors and the common man jumps on the train. Conclusion can be drawn. When completing the subject for the future, it is vital to consider such existing risks to Bitcoin as well as certain aspects that may be viewed as the possible enhancers of it. Cryptocurrency's market is still unstable, and that's why future fate of Bitcoin is tied to further developments, investors' attitude, and the progress of technologies. The decline in investor confidence in Bitcoin is driven by a combination of factors including market volatility, regulatory pressures, security issues, competition, and broader economic challenges. The cryptocurrency's future remains uncertain, but ongoing developments and innovations could provide a path forward. Understanding these dynamics is essential for assessing Bitcoin's potential and making. Last but not the least, do you believe that Bitcoin can overcome its current challenges and regain investor confidence, or is the cryptocurrency facing an inevitable decline?